Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. So this is Alan, and as you can see, it's raining and I'm not working today, so we're going for a drive in the rain to relax and get away from the crap. Oh, orange light. Woohoo! Yeah. So what I thought I would do today, and I hope that this windscreen wiper isn't too distracting, but I kind of need them so I can see what I'm doing. Like if I stop right, you know, everything gets a bit blurry, a bit hard to see. So how about we do that? We'll keep them on. Welcome to Australia. Welcome to southwestern Sydney. So we're going to be going through the Royal National Park. Now, I've taken you through there before, but not in the rain. And it's really beautiful when it rains in there. So I just grabbed a coffee, or I had a coffee at home, and just going past some road work, and I thought we'd just go for a run. So make yourself comfortable. Jump in my car. Oh, and I want to talk to you about the Queen Bee as well. The Queen Bee. It's a bit pornographic, so I better call her J-Lo, not Lena. We all know that Lena is as pure as the morning mist, pure as snow. So I'm going to tell you what the Queen Bee gets up to. She has an interesting time. She has a great afternoon. Not so great for the drones, but I'll get there. So we're going to have a bit of bee porn, guys. So strap in. Bit of bee porn. See, now I've got you all intrigued. Maybe like Magic Mike, I need a porn moderator. Is that how it works? I don't know. See, this is the thing. When you're on YouTube, right, I've just got to really curtail what I'm thinking, because there are, you know, about 30 things going through my head right now that I would just love to say, and I'm thinking, no, Alan, shut up. Just don't say it. Do not say it. Don't go there, mister. Just zip your mouth. But I will tell you about J-Lo, not Lena. Alright, so where we're going to go today, like I think I said, we're going to go through the Royal National Park. So we're just driving kind of on the outskirts of a place called Liverpool, and we are driving in a easterly direction, so we're heading towards the coast. So Liverpool is probably about maybe 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers inland from the coast. So yeah, and we're driving in a easterly direction. And then we're going to drive through the national park. All right, so let's talk about J-Lo. So bees, right? Okay. So I don't know whether this is right for native bees, but I can tell you about the European honeybee. I'm not sure about the Asian honeybee. but for the European honeybee, which is the honeybees that we have in Australia, and I think they're the same ones that you have in the States. They're a combination of I think it's the English, the Spanish, French and the German bee, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But he says, so all the workers, right? All the workers, they're all females. Yeah? So they live about 6 weeks. And in their life they do different things. So when they're born, I think they might be tending the hive. Sometimes as they go through their life they do different roles, right? So sometimes they might be attending the queen bee. Sometimes they might be, as they're moving on, they're foraging. Sometimes they're the bouncer, like they're the defense bees. So if you get stung by a bee, it's a good chance you're probably going to get... Ooh, truck. Hello. If you're going to get stung by a bee, there's a good chance it's probably going to be a guard bee. So, yeah. But anyway, we can talk about bee stings some other time. But the thing is, all the workers are all females. Now, they live to be about... I think they live maybe 4 to 6 weeks. That's their lifespan. So they're the ones that are just the powerhouse of the hive. They're the ones that are doing all the stuff, right? All the work. Now, the boy bees. So inside, you've got the queen. You've got the worker bees, which are the females, like I said. They are like the smallest bees. Then you've got the drones, which are the boy bees. Get it right, Alan. I should have had that second coffee, eh? So then you got your drone bees, and then you've got your big ass queen bee, and she has a big ass because she's got to lay all these eggs. So she's got this rotundous ass. Actually, it's not really rotundous; it's more pointed. She needs a big abdomen so she can lay all the larvae, lay all the eggs. That's all she does. Now, so what does the queen bee get up to? Actually, give me a second. I'm just going to pull over and adjust this camera. It has slipped. There's a car behind me. Let's see how I go with this. As you can see, it's very high tech here on Beekeeper Tarot. Very high tech. That's what I want. That's better. Right. Nobody's behind me. That's good. Oh, here's a truck. Alright, sorry about that. I digress. So, the queen bee, right? So, her thing, all she does is she lays eggs to populate the hive. That's it. That's her job. So how does she get there? Well, you might ask. So what happens is that she flies up to an area. Generally, these areas, they might be like surrounded by a couple of, have a boundary of trees. You know, you could even say like an oval or a park or something. And she flies up and she releases these pheromones, right? And these pheromones is basically, hey, who wants to get a root? Who wants some? Who wants a bit of queen bee? Which one of you drones, hey? Who wants a bit of queen bee? So what happens is that the drones in the actual queen bee's hive, they don't go. Drones will go and, you know, have their way with another queen bee. But anyway, so the queen flies up, right? And she's like, baby, baby, baby! Right, so she's ready to go. She is hot to trot. She's flying up there, right? And she's releasing all her pheromones. And all these drone bees, right? So all the boy bees, they're like, baby, how are you? So they, you know, they kind of hop in and have a bit. and then their dick snaps off. How's that? So they do their thing, right? And I'm not sure exactly how it happens. Like, I guess it must get stuck in there, and it snaps off. They fall to the ground dying with no appendage, and then the queen, like, she's still up there, and I think she's probably just still getting her fill from whatever sperm is in there, right? I told you this was going to be pornographic. I told you, right? I warned you. So then she will release his penis, and then she'll go, baby, 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 next. And so anyway, so she has a busy afternoon getting amongst all the boys, as all the boys are dying after they get some queen bee. And then what she does is she flies back to the hive, right? And so what's happened is that she's now got a nice big gene pool of different sperm. So she's got all the genetics, you know, of all the different bees. So there's a wide gene pool of sperm inside of her. Okay. And so then she flies back to the hive, and she's like, oh my god, I need a cigarette and a bourbon. Meanwhile, there's all these dead boy bees hanging around, you know, without their dicks, without their bits. And yeah, so she flies back to the hive, and she has a bourbon and she has a cigarette. She's like, oh, if I see another man, I'll be gone, I'll be dead. And then somebody feed me grapes or feed me honey. And the worker bee goes, yes, mom. And they start feeding her, and then she just lays eggs. That's it. So she will lay eggs for about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years, whatever it's worth. That is the average time that the queen bee will live for. But that's what happens. Now, I've got to talk to you about the drones. So the drones are the boy bees, like I said. They do nothing. They absolutely do nothing for the hive. They do sweet F all. They do nothing. They can't feed themselves, so the workers have got to feed them. Like, really, they're like straight men. Oh, did I say that? No, there are some very good straight men out there that can feed themselves. There are. There's 3 of them in Australia. I'm only joking. Everybody. There's 5. But that's what the drones do. They do nothing, right? They can't feed themselves, and they actually can't sting. The drones have got no stinger on them, so only the girls have got a stinger. So the queen can sting, and the workers can sting. Yeah. So that's how it works. So the drones, all their purpose is to have a bit of a rendezvous with the queen. That's their role, and that's pretty much all that they do. But they're like certain members of the royal family that do nothing. Which I better not say anything more about that. Starts with A. Starts with the letter A. Anyway, I didn't. Entertainment only, YouTube. Entertainment only. I'm just a beekeeper on the road in the rain, talking to myself to a video camera. So what happens is when the drones are needed, the workers will kick them out. They're like, you know what? You're not doing anything. You can't feed yourselves. You're not working for the hive. You are a drain on resources. All the queens are fine. They're all fertile and laying eggs. See you later. So you can actually go on YouTube and you can see videos of go onto YouTube and you can see videos of the drones being kicked out of the hive. So because they can't sting, they can't defend themselves, they can't feed themselves, so they'll just generally get eaten by something like, I don't know, maybe a lizard might come along or a spider or something. So, so it sucks to be a straight male beak. Sucks to be a drone. Literally, not good. So that is the life of the queen bee and the male bees. So yeah, that's how it works. And if you think about it, it's quite ingenious because it's not like, like I said, you're getting a very wide gene pool with all that sperm, right, from different drones inside the queen bee. So that's how it works. So what will generally happen is before like say spring or something, the hive is thinking, hey, we better make some boys. So what they do, they make cells that are slightly bigger than the actual worker cell. So when you look at a bee frame, right, if you look at a normal honey frame, like the hexagonal frames, yeah, with the little cells in them, they're for the worker bees, they're for the females, right? So that's what they make. They put the honey in there and they cap the honey, the babies grow in there, so the baby worker bees grow in there. But what happens is that when they want to make male bees, they'll actually build a larger, I don't know what you want to call it, like a cell, I guess you call it, for the male bees. Now I can't remember exactly that side of it. I can't remember actually how they become the male bees and not the worker bees. Like, I don't know the process of that. So I have an idea, but I don't want to say, because I'd rather look it up sometime and let you know, rather than tell you something that I don't know. Tell you an untruth. So that's what they do. And as for the queens, right? So what will happen is the hive will have a queen, and she will live to be, like I said, between 6 and 7 years. So, so say for example, say she's been alive for 6 or 7 years, right? She's been laying eggs all this time. Well, she might be getting a bit worn out from laying eggs, and maybe she is not as good as laying eggs as she once was when she was younger, right? So then what happens is that the hive goes, maybe we need to make a new queen bee. And so what will happen is the workers will, so these are the girl bees, right? They will build these large cells underneath the frames. Generally speaking, they can build the cells in different places, and generally where they build the cells in the hive is representative of what's going on in the hive. So if the hive is going through stress, they'll build the cells in certain locations. But if everything is like hunky-dory and going well in the land of the hive, they'll generally build the cells underneath the base of one of the frames, and they'll generally build about I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 queen bee cells. So for the queen to go in. Now, how the queen goes, just merging with traffic here. Welcome to Engadine, by the way, guys. This is Engadine. Coming up to Engadine. I grew up near this area. So, where was I? Yeah, so the workers will build the workers will build these cells for the queen bee, And so what would generally happen is you've got an old queen, right? As in an old queen bee that's been around for 6 or 7 years. And she might be thinking, shit, I'm about to be superseded by a younger model. So she will do either one of two things. If she's a bit toey, when the queen cells are got new queens and when they're about to emerge, she will sting those new queens to death. She will say, I don't want you in my hive, you young floozy, you J-Lo. So she'll sting them and they will die. Or she'll say, hey, I'm bloody over this hive. She'll fly out and she'll release pheromones, and it's like, okay, who's going to join me? So then half the hive will go out with her, and that's a way that bees can swarm. So when you see bees swarming, often it's because the queen is like, you know what? Well, bees can swarm for a number of reasons. That's for another day. But that's how that happens. So that's for another day. But in this case, the queen, if the queen doesn't want to sting the new queens coming up and growing in the cells, so I don't know, if she doesn't want to do that for whatever reason, and I don't know why, because there's a lot to learn with bees, she would just, like I said, she'll fly out, release the pheromones, and then she'll take half the hive with her. They would generally, they might, I don't know, they might hang around on a letterbox or under an eave or something. Then the scouter bees will go out and they'll find a place to go. Then they'll send the word out, and what they do, they do this dance, and I'm actually being serious. They wiggle their tail, and how they do it, that communicates, and they point right, and that says, hey, fly a few kilometers over here, turn right at the river, and we found this really great place that we can start the hive. And then the queen will go and they're off because they will follow the queen. That's how that side of it works. So yeah, that's just a little bit about the bees. And I actually spoke to a good friend of mine yesterday, and I spoke to him. Well, actually, I was working and I was taking one of my people to a medical centre, and then I ran into this friend of mine's wife. She's a really lovely family. So hi Jules, if you're watching this. So I ran into my friend's wife. We had a chat to her. She was there with her mum, and then I called my good friend Gary up last night, who is Julie's husband, because I know the whole family and they can't get rid of me. And he's going to split his hive in a month or two and give me some new bees, which is really, really kind of him. That's really, really kind of him. So I'll have some new bees soon. I miss my bees, and then I can split hives after that. And then, so what will happen then is the new bees that come in, they'll make a new queen. So we will have a new Lena. A new Lena in the hive. A queen bee Lena. Yeah, so life is better when you've got a queen bee Lena. But she would never behave like J-Lo. Lena's pure. Lena's like, God, that's a lot of energy. Just give me a coffee. Give me a coffee. All that mucking around, it's too much energy. Anyway, so we are now at the... See how I wasted all that time? No, I didn't waste the time. Now, we are about to go into the Royal National Park. You can see a little sign there. And here we are. So I'm hoping that it's going to be really pretty down here. That's my intention. Just to take you away from all the crap. For one day you can have a ride with me in the car in Sydney or South. Well, actually we're in southern Sydney now. This is like the southern area of Sydney. And so this is the Royal National Park, and I believe, and I could be wrong here, I believe technically it's the second oldest national park in the world. I think the first one to be called a national park, I think it's Yellowstone. So that's what I think. I've got a funny feeling that this was a national park in 1879, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah. But the Royal National Park, it kind of goes from like the southern area of Sydney. So like I said, we've just driven east and we're just going to go for a bit of a run or continue a run, and waiting for the green light. Here we go. Nice little green arrow. Okay. So hopefully this will be nice and enjoyable for you guys. So what I'll do is I will put a note in this video to say when I'm finishing my bee porn talk for all those pure people out there and starting to go through the national park. So it's just lovely down here, and like I said, I have been here before with you guys, but I'm actually thinking, we'll see how I go for time, but I'm actually thinking of going a little bit further south. There's a really nice bridge down there that I'd like to show you. Yeah, so reduce speed. Am I going to keep right? Okay, cool. Sometimes you have to pay to go through here, so I will generally say is I am prepared to stop. I will generally say that what's going on here? Let's have a talk to these people. Hey mate, how are you? Hey, how you going? Good. Is Audley open? Is Audley open?
Yeah.
Oh, good, bro. Okay, thank you very much.
No worries, mate.
Thanks, mate. Have a nice one.
You too, mate. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Welcome to the Royal National Park. The reason I did that is there's a weir down here called Audley, and sometimes when it rains, they shut it down. So I was wondering if that what was going on here. So now I'm driving like an American. I'm driving on the other side of the road, and it feels very strange. Feels very strange. But Audley, it's just really pretty down here when it rains. I suppose I might put my lights on. I used to work in traffic control, very briefly. I suppose I should slow down. And I think I need to maybe adjust this camera when I get down the bottom. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Audley, here we go. Here we go. Very nice down here. Yeah, so this weir does flood sometimes when you get a lot of rain. So there is, I think, more rain coming tomorrow, but it's okay. I thought that was another reason why I thought I'd come down. Well, I'm working tomorrow, but I thought I would come down today for this very reason. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to drive up here a bit and I'm going to adjust this camera. Audley Village, here we go. There's a little car park down here. There's lots of walking tracks you can do down here. Lots of them, so it's really quite pretty down here. So let's just adjust this mirror, this camera I should say. Sorry about that. There we go. So we can just have a quick look-see. So it's really nice. It's really nice down here. So this is the Port Hacking River from memory, which goes into Port Hacking. I've actually thought I should do some tarot down here sometimes. Take some cards down here, and obviously not today. I never knew that little thing existed over there, that little boat ramp thing. I never knew that was there. Alright. So, we're going to cross over the Weir soon, which is coming up to my left. So we'll kick off down through here. There's, like I said, there's lots and lots of walks that you can do through here. So, and I used to walk a lot through here when I was younger, when I was a kid. I used to take off and walk all through here. I did like 15k hikes and things. Now I'm curious, what is to the left here? I'm curious. Because I've actually never been up here. Maybe? No, I can't do it. It's closed off. Okay. Alright, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Now, so we'll have a bit of a look down here. This is Audley, right? And I've shown you here before when it hasn't been raining. There's like a little kiosk down here if it's open, which I don't know. And it's just really nice down here. So you can have like picnics and stuff. So let me just see if that window. Yeah. Okay. Just go over this old rickety bridge. So over we go. I always think that everything is just nicer when it's raining. It's not like torrential rain. Here we go. So being that it's a Wednesday and it's raining, I'm not anticipating heaps of people down here because of the weather. Unless all the other YouTubers are down here thinking I might go for a drive to Audley or to the national park, which maybe they might be doing. Who can say? I wonder what brand of cigarette the Queen Bee smokes, eh? I wonder if it's a Dunhill or it's a Winfield or I don't know. Maybe she smokes a Rollie. Puts a bit of stuff in it. Make her experience different. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I thought that might happen. Yes, I've lost the... I need to clearly keep an eye on my camera, on my phone. Alright. So this is of the other car parks in Audley, and you can like go camping down, so you can go have your picnic done here and everything. So I'm just going to adjust this one more time. Sorry guys, my apologies. I should just be done with it and get a dash cam. That's what I should do, as opposed to using my phone. I should be a bit more professional about these things. But you know, I'm Australian. There's nothing fancy about us. We're all a bit rough and ready, or rough. Don't know if we'll ever be ready. Speed limit 20 k's. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'll put my lights on. And oh, nice big pothole. Now, yeah, this camera's gone off again. Alright, so I'll have Arnold. What you doing there? That's a bit better. I'm thinking it's just because this road is a bit got potholes and bits missing. That's okay. But it is nice down here. It is nice down, and I'm just looking. I think it's actually coming up really nice in the video, which is good. So anyway. And it's just nice lighting, you know. So that's the reason why I wanted to come down today. Put you through my bee porn. So next time you see a queen bee, you can think, hey, I know what you've been up to. I know what you've been doing. You've had your bits, and you've had your cigarette, you've had your bourbon. That's the YouTube version of it. Now, what's happening with this camera? Oop, yeah, it's gone off again. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. It's just the way I've got my phone. So maybe what I might do, let's just assume that nobody's coming. I'll just honk my horn. And up we go. And we'll go down. And we're going to go further down here. Alright. Here's another car, and I'm just going to park over here one more time, and we'll head to the right. Okay, so all right. Let's keep going, guys. Yeah, so that was Audley, and you can actually even hire like little paddle boats down there and go paddling on the river. That's really nice. It's fun to do that. I haven't done that for years, but maybe I should. I live about 40 minutes from here, half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that, depending on the traffic. City traffic can be pretty full on sometimes, but that's okay. So hopefully this video will turn out nice. That's my intention, and hopefully you'll be enjoying the non-R-rated part of the talk. But no, I really love bees. They're fascinating, and you know they're doing it tough. They are really doing it tough right now, and I will get around to doing videos on how to make or how to help create bee-friendly environments. Because the truth is, you don't have to be a beekeeper. As much as I'd love you all to become beekeepers, and you can all have your, and you can become Beekeeper Tarot Allison and Beekeeper Tarot George and Beekeeper Tarot. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. If there was about 50,000 Beekeeper Tarots on YouTube, I would love that. Absolutely love that. Spreading the good word about tarot and about the bees. Oh, we've gone off again. Hold on. What's happening? Here we go. Yeah, got to keep my eye on this thing. Keep my eye on you. So once again, folks, I do really appreciate all your kindness and all your responses and your feedback. And you know, we've got a good community. We have a good community, and it doesn't matter what you do, who you are. There's room for you in this community. There's totally room for you in this community, and we all have something to give to the plate. We have all something to give to the table. So, and certainly, it's all about being inclusive, and it's about being respectful, and it's about appreciating each other in the midst of all the insanity. So, one thing about Australian trees, which I don't know if I've told you before, we have native trees, and they're called Banksias, right? And I'm just driving past a few of them now. If I could find a close-up of one, if I can. Let me stay there. But anyway, what they do is they've got like these seed pods. And so with Australia, the soils are not that nutrient. I don't know whether it's because we are geographically such an old country, but the soils are they're very kind of, generally speaking, they're not great in nutrients. So what happens is that the bushfires come through, and so the seed pods of the Banksias will open, and the seeds will get carried up in the smoke and in the fire from the heat. Then they will eventually land in the ash from the bushfire, and they've got all that fertile ash. Now the Aboriginal people knew what they were doing. They knew how to manage the land. They used to burn just to help get them food. They knew how to manage the land. And the way that we have a very dark history when it comes to our Indigenous people. It's disgusting and it's shameful. And we had and I know Lena's spoken about this, but we had a thing called The Voice a couple of years ago, which was a vote whether we should include them in the Constitution, which is so fucking stupid because they were here. They've been here for 50,000 years, right? I mean, the audacity. The fucking audacity. Oh, you know, let's see if we should include the Aboriginal people in the Constitution. How about we should do that? And and can you believe it? How racist we are and xenophobic we are? We voted no. We voted no. And that was that ScoMo? Who was? I'm trying to think who the Prime Minister was. The Prime Minister was Anthony Albanese, I'm trying to think who was in opposition. Was it Scotty from marketing? Can't remember. I'm just trying to block all that part of it out. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do with that. But there was this scare campaign, like, like if you vote yes to the Voice, then the Aboriginal people are going to come and take your house. Like, just all this bullshit that was coming out, and it really was disgusting that we said no, and all the trauma that would have caused. They were regarded as flora and fauna. They weren't even regarded as human, right? So we have a lot to be ashamed of, and we didn't even get that right. I voted early. I voted yes. My good friend Igor voted early. He voted yes. Big yes from Igor and I. But that was just very difficult. But the Aboriginal people knew what they were doing, so they knew how to manage the land. And so often with this is gone again. Sorry guys. Often with the structure of the land, they knew what they were doing. But you'll find that a lot of native trees in Australia, they'll do that. They'll wait for the bushfire to come along. The bushfire will cook or burn the seeds, like the seed pod. The seed pods will open, the seeds will fly out, and then when it's done, they'll land in the ash. And often, not often, but they'll wait for the next rain to come along. They will germinate in the fertile ash, and then you will have a new banksia or a new tree going, a new banksia shrub will go. And while I'm there, in Australia, our native trees, they don't shed their leaves, they shed their bark. So you might have heard of like gum trees and eucalyptus trees, so they're native to Australia, like the gum trees, right? And so there's a type of gum tree called stringy bark gum tree, and so the reason that it's called stringy bark is because when the bark comes off the gum tree, it looks like string. It literally looks like bits of string. So you'll see that as well. So that's just a bit of a difference between the Australian vegetation and vegetation from other places. I'm not sure if New Zealand, if their trees are the same. Maybe they could be. New Zealand is a beautiful country, by the way. If you're ever coming to Australia, check out New Zealand. New Zealand is a lot smaller than Australia, but it sits on the Ring of Fire, so it sits on the tectonic plates. So they have a few volcanoes there. Unfortunately, they get earthquakes there. We get them too. We get earth tremors here. The stress in the plates, but they've actually got the stress of being on the Ring of Fire. So they've got a couple of volcanoes there in the Northern Island, and there's one volcano. It's called Mount Egmont, but the Maori name is beautiful. It's a Maori name. It's Taranaki. It's beautiful, and it's almost like Mount Fuji, right? I've hiked up it twice. I hiked up it when I was in 2012. I hiked up past where the trail finished, and then I think I was like 21 or something, which was like BC 500. I actually got above the clouds. Yeah, it was nice. So I think Taranaki, it erupts every couple of 100 years. So I think from memory it last erupted in 1700 and something. So if there are any Kiwis out there watching, or anybody that knows, please feel free to correct me on that. Feel free. Yeah, so we're still driving through the park. So like I said, there's lots of places here that you can swim, and there's only one actual area where there's a little township. It's called Bundina, and it's there's only one area that people live here in the park. But I kind of would be a bit nervous about living in a place like this because we get bushfires, you know, and with climate change, and yes, it's real. Irrespective of what some of these idiot politicians will tell you, climate change is real. I mean, you think about how much crap we put into the atmosphere. I mean, you know, just do the maths. The pollution in the water that we've done, like, just do the maths. So I'm being overtaken, and that's fine. Nice and wet today. Here we go. Oops. There's lots of places here that you can swim, and there's a really nice place called Guatemala where you can actually swim either in the ocean, or there's like a little river area there as well. You used to be able to jump off the rocks, which I have done in my youth, but I don't think you can do it anymore. I think it's illegal. I think they've actually put fences around it that says keep out, but you know, I wouldn't jump in now because I'm old. But I did when I was younger. So we're coming back down now, so we're going to, as you can see, we're driving down, or maybe you can't know, but we're driving, here we go. Downhill. But you know, it's good to get out in nature when you can, and even though, I mean, I am out in nature, but technically I'm not walking in it right now. But it's really important to have your days off, you know what I mean? It's really important to have days where you're not consumed with the crap. Because the crap isn't going anywhere soon, unfortunately, I don't think. As much as I'd love to be wrong about that. But it's just important to pace yourself, you know? Just pace yourself. And, you know, so I might maybe do some readings for myself today or personal stuff, but unless something major happens that I want to have a look at on my channel, I'm just going to have a day off, and I've got some cleaning to do when I get home, and I made some food the other day, made a chicken dish, so I'm just gonna relax a bit. I've got work tomorrow, and I'm working over the weekend, so, but it's just really important to have some time out. And like I said, if you are in a situation where you can't have some time out, you can come and hang with me. Come for a drive with me. I got a nice big warm car, I got nice comfy seats. You can hop in with me. Go for a drive. And I've got to say too, I think, as far as like keeping everybody sane and doing our bit, I think our community is doing a phenomenal job. you think about the readers out there and all the psychics out there that are just doing their bit to help people, and then all you guys that are manifesting and praying and being kind to each other, and you don't have to be on YouTube to be effective in our community. If you are doing something to help someone else or to be a light bearer, you are a light worker, and that's it. And that's often what I think, if I'm being honest, it's like, I think I have said this, but we're like holding little lanterns, because we're just going through this dark night. Well, nights are dark, but we're just going through a period of darkness right now. In as much as there always will be bits of darkness, but there's so much insanity happening in the world, and not just in the US. I mean, so if you can do one little thing to help someone in whatever way you can, one little thing, text message, phone call, hi, how are you? You free for lunch? I'm gonna go for a drive. Do you know what I mean? How's your dad going? Anything. And it's just really important that we stick together, because it's just shit right now. Anyway, this is probably my favorite section down here. I love it down here. So pretty. And we're coming to oh well, there's a bit of, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bit of mist. How lovely. How beautiful. I'm going to drive really slow. See the mist. How nice is that? There's nobody behind me, so I can take it nice and slow. Here we go. I'm really sorry about the windscreen wipers, guys. I know that it's probably... Actually, maybe I'll turn them off for a bit. Let's see how we go. See, the windscreen is getting a bit waterlogged. But the thing is, we all have something to give, So be proud of yourselves, guys. Be proud of yourselves and what you're doing. So this is, we're going to keep driving, but if I wanted to go out of the Royal National Park, I could turn right here, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep going towards a place called Stanwell Park, which I am pretty sure I've taken you before, but just not in this rain. And then I think what we might do, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I've got time. we might go for a drive along what's called the Seacliff Bridge, which is a bridge that they built. Oh, look at this mist. Hold on. Here we go. There you go, folks. Get some mist. How nice is that? How nice is that? So very soon we're going to start to ascend. We're going to start climbing up, and we will be sort of coming to a look at that looks over Wollongong. So Wollongong is about, I don't know, 100 k's, 60 miles. I think that's what it is. South of Sydney, roughly, and it's yeah. So technically, Wollongong, you might say it's on the Illawarra coast. And there's more mist. It's just beautiful. I'm glad I took you down here today. There's nobody behind me that I can see, which is good, so I can just take it nice and slow through here, which is safe, but also you get a bit more of a nice view, because right now it's about you guys. But I enjoy doing these videos, you know, I enjoy having a bit of diversity on my channel. Once I get new bees, there'll be lots of bee videos coming. But I've really missed them. And I still need to actually explain to you what I think happened to my last bees. This might sound strange, but I actually needed time to grieve. It hurt when they left, but I don't blame them. But like I said, the bees are really doing it tough. You know, they're doing it tough, and they need our help. So yeah, and so that's why I say things like, you know, if you've got a container and you want to put in a bit of cork, get some cork off Amazon or whatever, or find some cork. You've now got a little you've now got a little area that the bees and the pollinators can drink from. But they're such beautiful little creatures. So if you have any questions about drones and bees and the queen bee and va-va-voom in bee world, va-va-voom, you can ask. So it's just beautiful down here. nice actually. I'm not planning on doing any trips anywhere, but I would love to show you guys some kangaroos, like in the wild. I've seen them, obviously. But I did a road trip with my housemate, with Sid. We went to Western Australia a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was at the beginning of my tarot journey, like literally at the beginning of it. I'd met my good friend Igor, and this is even before I knew Lena. But I bought, the first tarot deck that I bought was the Gilded Tarot, and then I bought another tarot deck which I think was called the Retrospective Tarot, and that tarot deck went with me on my trip. So I was doing tarot on the plane. That one me. And if Sid went to bed early before me, I'd be doing tarot. And one of the nicest memories was when in the desert, right? Because most of Western Australia, it's desert, quite arid, and under the full moon in the desert doing tarot, it doesn't get much better than that. I didn't even need to have any light. There was that much light from the moon and the stars. I could actually do my readings. And so I had my guidebook, my first guidebook. I had my deck, and off I went. So lovely time. Lovely time to get away, and a really nice time with Caro. And so, you know, if you're on your tarot journey, go for it, guys. Absolutely go for it. You know, start your own YouTube channel. Trust me, if I can do this, anybody can. Trust me. Trust me. But get amongst it, guys. You know, experiment with it. See what works for you, you know. Look at the kind of spreads that you want to do. Look at the cards and learn the meanings. And, you know, I'm always learning something. Always learning something. Always. There's always so much to learn. And the one of the reasons why I really love the Rider-Waite-Smith is because there's so much imagery there, and so much symbolism, you know. And I don't know all the symbolism, you know. I've got a long way to go, but that's okay. It's like, you know, I'm on this journey for the rest of my life. So, you know, and that's why, like, you know, I'll be listening to readers or someone, you know, like Lena or Johnny or Becca or Libby or Marianne or, you know, all the readers, right? And they'll just say stuff, and I'm like, boom, okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that tarot lesson. There are some incredible readers out there, and honestly, if you want your tarot lessons, just look at these readers. There's so much knowledge out there, and from my experience with the other readers, that they give themselves so freely, you know. So it's a good thing, and it's not like, you know, oh, you know, I know this, I'm not going to tell you. No, that bullshit. It's just really, it's just sharing the knowledge and sharing the love. So it's pretty good. So now we're starting to climb. And there's a few nice lookouts that we'll be seeing on the left hand side. Now I've kind of got this camera more or less, my phone more or less where I want it, and I'm afraid to take it out because, as you know, I'm very good at filming and then stopping the camera and then having to film again. Like I specialize in that higher skill. So keep that under wraps. So I've actually even come here a few times and I've watched the moon rise over the ocean, which is just lovely to do. It's just spectacular up here. So basically, to my left-hand side is the Pacific Ocean. So that I'm driving south now. So to my left is east. Yep. So I've come here a few times and watched the moon rise over the ocean, and I'd like to do a video next time there's a full moon, or when I can get around to it if I'm not working, or depending what's happening, we can watch the moon rise together. That will be nice. That will be very nice. There's a lot of mist over the ocean, a lot of fog, I should say. That's all right. Oh, sorry, guys. It is a rainy day. There's a bit more mist coming up here. Bald Hill, a bit like me. So this is Stanwell Tops Lookout, and I absolutely love it here. I absolutely adore it here, even though you can't see anything today. All you can see is mist, but I love it up here. It's just really special up here. See, it's hard to sort of see things because I just don't want to. I don't want to move this camera, and what we're going to do. Actually, I know what we're going to do. I have an idea. We're going to drive down to a place called Bulleye and take this big windy road up the escarpment. That's what we're going to do. That would be fun. So what's happening here? Traffic conditions. Okay. What's going on down here? going to go down again. So we're actually out of the Royal National Park now. So basically when we came up to the lookout, which I just showed you, that's like the end of the national park from a southern point of the southern tip of it, yeah? But the Royal National Park is quite large. There's a nice little railway line here to the right hand side of me, which is where all your trains down to the south coast will be going. Hello, car. It's good that you've got your lights on. Yeah, we'll drive up Bullway Pass. I haven't been up Bullway Pass for a while. So this is Stanwell Park. So we are probably about 50, 60 k's south of Sydney, something like that. But yeah, maybe 20 k's from the southern part of Sydney. But if we keep driving down here, we're going to head to a place called Wollongong, and if we keep going further, we're going to go to a place called Kiama, and I will show you Kiama one of these days. There's a really nice blowhole down there. There's two actually. So this is Stanwell Park. There's all beach areas down here. I don't think anybody will be swimming today, but you never know. Grab some fish and chips down here. I've done it before, going down to the beach or into the picnic area. I'm not a big fan of the sun. So that's okay. Park, and I haven't taken you down here before. So I'll keep going. Yeah, so the railway line goes on the right hand side of where I am, and it will go down to Kiama and then down to a place called Nowra, which is, so Nowra is, this is all south coast of it. So you could even say that this will be regarded as, this is the Illawarra coast. It's known as the Illawarra region, but it's technically the south coast. So south coast is an area south of Sydney. And you probably can't see it, but there's a railway line on the right hand side. And you can see that there's the escarpment. So we're going to climb up that when we go up Bullway Pass. So there's a few roads that you can do down, a few roads that you can get up. So basically, we're going to go up Bullway Pass, and then that will take me back onto the freeway, and that will take me back to Sydney. And I can go home and do my cleaning. Yep. I bought these things for weeding between the pavers. They look like medieval instruments of torture. There's little sharp things. They're like, you know, like when you go to the dentist, you've got these little painful little sharp things. They're like that. Anyway, I was going to start doing some weeding today, but I won't because it's raining. I don't want to get a wet bum. Unlike the queen bee. No, none of that. So they built this bridge up here, called the Seaway Bridge or whatever it was, and the reason that they did it was there was always a lot of rock slides along the road. Used to just literally go under the cliff. Yeah, we're starting the bridge now, so this is going to be hard to... Actually, what I should do, one day we should go for a walk along here. That's what we'll do. You can see the bridge in front of us, maybe. Maybe we can do a few drives on it, but yeah. So we're obviously on the... Yeah, you can't see, but... Yeah, this is called the Seacliff Bridge. So the road used to go on the right-hand side, literally just under the cliff here, and it was always being closed because of landslides and rock slides and what have you. And then they spent all this money and they built this bridge. So they use it in like car commercials as well. So it's literally, I'm driving over the ocean now. It's quite a nice little bridge. But I'll take you guys for a walk down here one day, I promise you. We'll go for a walk down here along the bridge. I'll have to sort that with a camera of some sort. Now we're back to the original road. Yeah, but there was always like lots of rock slides and everything. So this place is called Clifton. Yep. Few places here you can get fish and chips and burgers from, as in real burgers. That's all I'll say. Actually, burger would be nice. A real burger, not a non-real burger. But there's lots of lookouts on this road too, to the left-hand side, but there's a lot of mist around, which is beautiful. But so this is Scarborough. Da 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 da.